Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the third grade concept of comparing fractions. This is standard 3.3H in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 25 of the 2024 Release STAAR test, which is a new item type called inline choice. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we have got Serena and Ricky. They each have a milkshake. The two milkshakes are the same size. All right, so we're comparing these two fractions here, and each milkshake is going to have the same. We can draw something that kind of represents that. Each of these milkshakes. Let's use the connect line feature here, and we can say, all right, so that might be one milkshake. And if I want to compare the two milkshakes, I need to make sure that they're each going to be the exact same size. All right, so those are my two milkshakes, right? Serena is going to drink 5/6 of her milkshake, and then Ricky drinks 5/8 of his milkshake, and we need to compare the amounts that they drank. All right, so I'm not going to necessarily try to use the lines to connect the 5/6 and the 5/8. What I want to do is I want to draw a picture to represent how we could compare these, and then I want to show you a trick how you can compare these without a picture. So 5/6. Well, if I wanted to take this right here, do my very best to try to split this into 6. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split that into thirds. Thirds can be kind of tricky, but if you eyeball it, you can usually do it. And then I'm going to split my thirds in half because I know half of a third is a sixth, because 3 times 2 makes 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shade in from the bottom, and I'm just going to shade in 5/6, and I'm going to see if this helps. All right, 5/8. Well, eighths are a little bit easier because what you do is you cut it in half horizontally, cut it in half vertically. You've got fourths. Then you cut each of these fourths in half. All right, so now you get eighths because half of a fourth is an eighth because 4 times 2 is 8. All right, so we're going to draw this right here, shade this in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. All right, well, visually, we should be able to see that my 5/6 is going to be larger than 5/8 because I was able to draw that picture. But sometimes you can't always draw a really good picture, or you might not be able to trust the picture you draw if it gets kind of, sloppy or the lines aren't straight. So let me show you some other examples here, right? Another way that you could compare these two, 5/6 and 5/8. Think about each of these numbers, right? And what we have is you've got the same numerator, right? So your numerator here is 5. So you've got 5 of each. So really the only difference here is your denominator, right? So we're looking at the denominator. We've got sixths and we've got eighths. And what we need to know and what we need to remember is that the larger the piece, or the larger the denominator, it's actually going to be a little bit counterintuitive. That means it doesn't quite make sense until you think about it for a little bit. The larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. So what I'm saying here is if we have a milkshake and we're breaking it up into 8 pieces, like we did right here, you notice my pieces are smaller because I've got just a single milkshake and I have to cut it into 8 pieces. So 8. Each piece is going to be smaller. If I have the same milkshake with only 6 pieces, each piece can be a little bit bigger. So this is going to be 5 of bigger pieces is going to be greater than 5 of smaller pieces. That's another way to think of it. So let's see. Serena is the 5/6, drinks more of a milkshake than Ricky because sixths are larger than eighths. 6 are smaller than eighths, or they both drink 5 parts. Well, we knew that Serena drank more because the sixths, we're looking at the denominators, the sixths are larger than eighths. It's a 2-point problem, and that's how you get full credit.